Hello and welcome to the Busy Rebecca podcast, where I share tips to help you shape your mindset and develop a healthy perspective. A healthy perspective is always key, especially when dealing with challenges and trying to navigate your way back to the right path. I may not have all the answers, but I encourage you to sit back, pick a lesson or two as I dive into finding ways to make our lives a lot more easier. For those who've missed me, thank you very much. Thank you for reaching out to me, wondering why I hadn't uploaded any videos in the past month or so. Yeah, let's say like 6 weeks now. I really appreciate that. It made me feel like, oh, I was adding more value than I thought I was, and yeah, so it feels good to be back. And I hope the year 2026 is off to a great start for you, and if it's not, I hope you find your way back on the right path as soon as possible. Couple of weeks I've been thinking about what to focus on for the first month in terms of plotting the right graph for the year, getting the right message to guide our decisions, guide our goal setting, guide our selection process on what to focus on, what not to focus on. So one of the things was, it's beginning of the year, you hear a lot of people talking about, almost like what I'm doing here, talking about how to plot the new year or plot the year, the 4 quarters of the year. And then on the other end, there are people that are like, oh, it's just another day. Why is there so much attention to building momentum for the year? Or people start off and before second week of January or before the first quarter ends, they lose steam. So why bother? Just stay consistent. So there are those that are energized, looking forward to a new season, new beginning. You hear a lot of things around that, and then there are some people that are more pessimistic and like, what's the point? The year will still end the way the past year was, so why do I need to bother? I get that. From both ends, I can see the argument and I can relate to both sides of the coin. But one thing that stuck out to me is staying still and not doing anything doesn't add value to you. It doesn't do you any good. But every little momentum counts. So there are people that have started the year with a new diet. Maybe they want to lose weight, they want to be more muscular, or they just want to be fit. And then they've started off the year hot and heavy, going to the gym, eating clean, doing cleanses, fasting, so many things like that. And then the other people like, what's the point? By March, I know the people at the gym, they're going to reduce. It's not going to be as packed as it is now. While that may be true, but the momentum built, the little that was done will not go to waste. If you had planned to do something for 2 weeks, maybe you wanted to consistently perform an action every day for 2 weeks, and you do it for just 2 days or 3 days of those 2 weeks, you're much better than the person who didn't start anyway. You've built some momentum, and that's something to be happy for. So the point of this first part is, the new year has started. You have plans, you have goals, you have new habits you're trying to develop, and you are seeing yourself action those things. Regardless of how it pans out at the end of the year, regardless of if you lose steam towards the middle or even early in the year, don't count yourself out. Don't beat yourself up for starting and then stopping, or starting and failing, or starting and losing steam. Congratulate yourself for the fact that you started something and you're a few steps further away from where you were before. So give yourself kudos for making those right decisions, because everything adds up. If you start off great and then lose steam at the end, it's still going to count for something. If you don't do anything at all, and you feel like, oh yeah, exactly the same way you were last year, and that's how you're going to maintain yourself this year because of fear that you will not stay consistent, or fear that you won't keep up, then not doing anything is you actually failing. So even from a physical point of view, as we get older, our bodies are wearied out. whether you want to admit it or not, whether you look fit, you look perfect, your body is less fit than it was yesterday. Now, if you don't do anything intentionally to keep yourself healthy, keep yourself strong, you are allowing yourself to depreciate. That's the only word that comes to mind, depreciate. So not doing anything is you still failing. So you're better off trying, starting, losing steam, but then you tried and then you start all over again. You keep pushing yourself. So let that be a motivation for you, that no little action is a waste. Okay, you say, oh, I want to read more books this year. Every month I want to read a book. You're better off getting halfway through the book and learning some lessons, knowing something about whatever, whether it's fiction, non-fiction, than not having opened the book at all. I hope my point is made. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk about is for those who have a vision for themselves, have goals, have dreams, have grand ideas of how they want 2026 to end. So my major message today would be put in the right energy for that result that you want. When you want to see certain results, you have to do the work. You can't keep moaning and whining about how things aren't working out for you, how all the odds are stacked against you, how your village people are chasing you. They may be chasing you, but there's still something to do in that regard. Go and pray, go and fast. But I say that on a lighter note. So let me start with family. I think I've alluded to this before, where people say, oh, my family members don't show up for me, they don't sacrifice for me, they're not there for me when I need them. And my question to them, or at the back of my mind, is, are you the kind of person you want them to be? Do you show up for people? Do you support them? Do you care for them? But you're doing it because you want to, there's love, there's affection, there's care. You want to be there for them. Now, this is you leading by example. This is you showing them how you want to be cared for, how you want to be loved. And then you can now have the conversation. If I never call my parents, or maybe I call them once a month, I don't think I have a right to call them next month and be like, oh, why don't you call me every day? I call you once a month. Where is the audacity coming from for me to question how often you call me? So if you want to bring up the topic of, oh, I want you to show up for me more, I want you to be kinder to me, be those things first. And then you now have somewhat of a good standing to request for it. And if the people you care for actually care about you, they will see the signs. When you've provided for them, you've shown up for them, you've been there for them, you've supported them, it's a no-brainer that when it's your turn, unless they are wicked people, they will show up for you. But there's something in the bank, there's some emotional investment in the bank that you can source from. So that's on the family end. Now, career wise, there are people that'll be like, oh, in the next 3-4 years I want to be a manager, I want to be the vice president of this company. Are you investing in yourself to become the person that has earned that position, to become the kind of leader that other people would aspire to be like, or would aspire to work for? If you aren't functioning like the person you want to be or working towards it, then you're wasting your time. Are you doing the courses that require you to be well equipped for that position? When the opportunity comes, will you be ready psychologically and professionally, skillfully? Opportunities will come, but when they come, will you be ready to take advantage of it? So once again, are you the kind of person who has earned that thing? Moving on to the third point, which is on finances. In fact, I don't know if I'm particularly qualified to talk about this, but then I feel like I'm so qualified to talk about this based on my personal money habits, how I view money, what I want to use money for, what I have used money for, and aspirations I have personally. So there are certain things, beginning of the year, people are projecting how they want to end the year, how much they want in their accounts, what they would have done with money, they work towards it. So that I'm not even going to go into, even though that's a topic in itself. But my concern is for people who don't allow themselves to dream big. because I think I've said this more than once on my channel, that you cannot be bigger than your dream. If you don't see yourself as someone who can have that thing or do that thing, it's beyond the scope of your understanding or imagination to even think of asking more questions about that. You will just deflect. So same thing happens with business opportunities and work opportunities. If you don't see yourself as someone who can do or who is capable of achieving a certain thing or getting a certain kind of contract, when it comes your way, it will be too big for you to understand, and you just deflect. You'll be like, oh yeah, I know someone somewhere who can do it. Oh, let me get in touch with that person, as opposed to say, oh, I'm right here now. You know how skillful I am. You know how good I am with these other things. You've seen my pedigree. Okay, just give me a chance. Oh, what do I need to do to prove to you that I can do this job? What do I need to do to, okay, can we collaborate? Oh, can I get other people into this? Before I get distracted on all of this, my point is, if you can't see yourself in that position, if you can't see yourself doing those big things, when the opportunities come your way, you won't be able to seize it, because it doesn't look like an opportunity for you. It looks like something, oh, it's somebody else that can do it, or it's somebody else that can fill the position. Same thing with work. If you don't see yourself as someone who can lead a large group of people, or who can lead a skilled team, or who can lead a number of professionals, you feel too small. You feel you're not experienced. You feel you don't have what it takes. You feel you don't have the qualities. You will keep beating yourself down, and you will never rise to the occasion. You will never rise to those opportunities. So I want you to rejig your mindset. Do some introspection as you're planning your year, and just try to conceptualize something scary, something that you've never thought you could do, something that, okay, nobody in your family has done, nobody that you know has done, and just say, okay, what would it take for me to be this person? What would it take for me to have this thing? And just plot a graph for it. The reason why you're doing it is not particularly because of that specific thing. You're trying to expand the scope of your potential, the scope of what you think you can get, the scope of what you think you can do, the scope of what you think you're capable of. You're trying to trick your mind to think bigger, to dream bigger. In fact, I even dare you to fantasize about something so unrealistic but so useful to your existence, that you normalize thinking big. You normalize having fantastic dreams, that when you tell people around you, tell your friends, they'll be like, you've come again. Yes, you're training your mind to want more. You're training your mind to do more. You're training your mind to aspire for more, as opposed to just closing yourself up. And like I said in the beginning of this video, if you don't do anything, you're not staying normal, you're not staying static, you're not staying in the same spot, you're actually depreciating. You're going lower. You're not staying on a level plane, you're going down. Because anyway, let me leave that. So to the fourth thing, which is business. So it's kind of linked to the financial thing. Think big, plan big, strategize, ask the right questions, meet the right people. And something I've learned in the past 2 years, especially, okay, I've always had this thing. Something I've learned in the past 2 years is that always ask, can I do this? Can I have this? Can I assist with this? Do you need help with this? Do you need help with that? Because the worst thing that will happen is people will say no. That's not the end of the world. I don't think that's embarrassing. It's a lesson for me. If someone says no to a request that I have, I now ask myself, why did they say no? Did they think I couldn't handle it? Or did they think that's not for someone like me? Okay, why did they think I couldn't handle it? I go down that rabbit hole. Okay, why did they think I wasn't capable? I go down that rabbit hole. Okay, why would they think that I'm not the person, a good fit for this? I go down that rabbit hole. Eventually, I'll come up with my answers, which is either yes, they were right, or no, okay, let me do this and this and this, or let me have this conversation and explain, because context is key. Sometimes you need to toot your horn. Not sometimes, all the time you need to toot your own horn, because nobody will do it for you. If you want something, go for it. Worst case, they'll say no and you'll be fine. The world isn't ending. This year, I encourage you to put yourself out there. Ask. Worst case, you hear no. Ask for deals. Ask for collaborations. Ask for help. So this year, I want to do something different. I want to rebrand the brand. I want to add more things. I want to do more audio episodes on Spotify. So they're not going to be the same. It's not going to be an audio version of what is on YouTube. It's going to be more heartfelt, because I feel looking into the camera, talking into the mic, like being conscious of how I'm positioned. If I'm looking into the camera right, if my mic is positioned well, it can be a bit distracting from the message I'm trying to pass across. But when I did the audio episodes, I was relaxed, I was in a very comfortable corner, and I could really process and visualize the things that I was saying, and I felt there was more connection there. So while I'm still practicing how to make better videos, I'm going to be recording more audio episodes. So if you follow me on Spotify, you get a different episode, or you get 2 episodes. So you get the audio of what is on YouTube, and then you get my heartfelt connected audio episode for that week. Or so I think I'll still do the whole 2-week thing. And yeah, I have a lot of things I really want to share that are impactful to myself, to other people, because I'm always after adding value. I want to be useful, and that's why it was really heartwarming when some people reached out and be like, "Oh, we haven't seen any of your videos. You haven't posted in a long while." It felt nice because it meant, okay, I was noticed, not for me, the human being, but then for my message. So I appreciated that, and thank you for those who reached out. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to be more consistent, try harder, do more, and I would love to get feedback. I always encourage feedback, even when it's feedback that I don't really like. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a blessed 2026. I hope you have a purposeful, purpose driven 2026. I hope you add value. I hope you get value. I hope good news comes your way. I hope great things come your way. I hope doors open for you and things can only get better. That's my wish for you in 2026. So on my next video, we'll delve into much deeper things. This was more of a, hey, I'm back, and just sharing things that I've been feeling in the past couple of days since the year started. So have a blessed week ahead, and bye.